Back on our Media Day coverage here for the Event Center. Colorado men's basketball team getting ready for the 25-26 campaign. Voice of Rohn Mark Johnson, Associate Head Coach Mike Rohn. All right, give us the hard evaluation now. Through the Australian trip, couple of weeks of practice. What are you seeing so far?
A lot of really good things. We're growing as a team. We saw some competitive spirit in Australia, and so we were excited about that. And now we're in the dog days of practice and practice. The good thing, the guys are starting to get excited because exhibitions are coming, and so the growth is with a lot of new guys. There's a lot of that going on, and we just have to understand as coaches that it's a little bit of a process sometimes.
With you, Tad, the veterans who are coming back, last season was not acceptable by the standards of this program. Is this a hungry group right now?
Yeah, it's hungry. Yeah, and so is the staff. Staff is very hungry as well. But yeah, the new guys. Anytime you get new guys, they get a little energy in there, and so I'm excited about that. We just get a few of the guys healthy, and we'll be much better.
Look forward to it. Much more athletic, I think. Yeah. Ben got Deck. How's he coming along from that injury he's returning from?
I think physically he's coming on a little better. The mental part of it. His conditioning is not as good. Anytime you don't play for 3 months, at all, it can be a difficult thing on your cardio. But he's getting a little better there and getting used to the physicality. And the guys are actually starting to hit him a little bit more. So he's probably right where he should be. He's what we kind of say right now. He's still a little rusty, especially on defense. But I expect him to be hitting his groove about mid-November. Hopefully.
I think as a staff, with BD coming back from the injury, with what Sebi did his first year, you want to hang some responsibility on those two guys, don't you?
Yeah, we need to, right? Those are the guys. Felix, Elijah. Anytime, you got to rely on your veterans because they've been there and done that. And they're the ones that, they lived the same thing we did last year. They were right in the middle of it with us. And, kudos to that team. They kept battling and they kept fighting. And so those guys learned a lot about perseverance from that. And, so we need those guys to not only be some of our better players, but be our best leaders.
This young group, you got a bunch of pups out there, right? You said they bring energy. They bring some talent. There's some impressive young guys out there. Tell us a little bit about that group.
Well, like you mentioned earlier, just the athleticism of that group stands out when you watch practice. Their ability to play faster and quicker. And I think we're going to be a faster team this year. So that's the thing that jumps off the page with those young guys is, they can play the game a lot faster, and the athleticism helps us on offense and defense. And that's, coach is on them obviously about defense because that's what we do. But when you have some athleticism, it helps you be a better defender. So we're encouraged about that group. There's going to be several of them out of that young group that are going to have to contribute.
Another new guy I want to ask you about, he's not a young guy, but Barrington Hargrace comes in from Fullerton, right? When Tad first told me about him, he said, Mark, this is a tough kid we're bringing in here to play point.
Yeah, he's tough. I mean, he was the ninth leading scorer in the country. He won't be the ninth leading scorer in the country this year because, we got better people around him and he won't have to shoot as much. But I've been really impressed with his ability to handle the ball. Like his assist turnover ratio right now is like 7 to 1 in practice. So he's really making plays for other guys. Need to get him a little more vocal and understanding our system so he can lead a little more. He can be a really good leader, but he's still new, so he's trying to figure out what we want him to do so he can relay messages and calls. But he's growing there, and we need him. We're going to need him because he's been in big games, in big moments, and you don't have to run as many plays with a guy like Barrington. He can make some things happen.
I believe that. Last question here. Sebastian Ronchik was such an impressive first-year guy a year ago. Has he taken a step? Is he lifting his game to where he really becomes a special player?
Yes. Even more so maybe than we thought right now. That was the expectation that we wanted from him. But he's been shooting the ball well. He's been scoring the ball really well. He's ahead of the time a little bit from maybe what we were expecting. And we saw some of that in Australia. Just scoring the ball. And so we're excited about where he's at. We just got to get him back healthy, and we'll see how many more days it is, but hopefully he'll be ready for the season.
Coach had a birthday a couple of days ago. Team do anything for you?
No, I told him not to. I told him, hey, keep that on the down low. Keep that on. A lot of text messages, hugs and stuff after, but they
That's good.
we'll celebrate their birthdays. But it's better to have one than not.
It's good when you want to keep it on the down low and somebody mentions it on an interview. That's always a good deal. Mike Rohn, Associate Head Coach for the Buffaloes, our continuing coverage of Media Day here at the Event Center.